Now, what artist wouldn't want a number one hit? Or perhaps this is better said, wouldn't like a number one hit, regardless of whether they earned it or not, even years after they recorded it? Well, this artist today that I'm going to be talking about is a very revered British artist who has been making music for the past 60 years, I guess, almost. This artist hated this number one song. And for the life of me, I don't know why. Hey, it's Michael Douglas. Welcome back to Dr. Pundit, where we talk about music, not medicine, and Petula Clark. That's right, the songstress that gave us the number one smash, Downtown. You would like to think that any artist, when they had that ear for a song that would eventually hit number one, well, they had a pretty good idea that with their talent, whether or not they wrote the song or not, the backing of the arrangements, the session singers, the whole nine, they could envision it in their head that yes, not only do I think this will hit number one, but I love it. Well, the same couldn't be said about Petula Clark's number one hit, My Love, which came after the success of Downtown. She'll flat out say, and to this day, she hasn't come around 100% on this song. She didn't hear much potential on the song, considering it to be kind of more on the slight side of things. And her opinion really never softened, unfortunately. I don't understand why. But audiences loved the song when it was released. And like I said, it was her second number one hit following the success of Downtown. And this made her the first British solo act to have two number one singles in the United States at that time. An impressive feat considering she was competing with the Beatles, who dominated charts in the mid-1960s. And speaking of the Beatles, Paul McCartney went to number one with his smash, My Love, completely unrelated. And also Lionel Richie took a song called My Love to the top 5 in 1983, 10 years after that. But this is a very different song, of course. McCartney's version is sentimental, and Lionel Richie's version is mostly standard love song fluff, whereas Clark's is pure joy, with her shouting from the rooftops to let us know the boundless nature of love. It's deeper than the deepest ocean and wider than the sky, she sings. Tony Hatch wrote this song as he flew from London to Los Angeles, where Clark recorded it, so while he was basically flying over the Atlantic Ocean. Now, the air travel gave him the idea for the love transcending distance theme in his head. He wrote many of Petula Clark's biggest hits, including Downtown, and a couple of other songs called I Know a Place and Don't Sleep in the Subway. My Love was one of 3 songs Clark recorded at the session, and she absolutely hated it. She had to leave right after she was done with her vocals. It was that bad to her. But on the way out of the studio, she implored her American record label rep, Joe Smith, not to release the song My Love. Well, Smith, sensing a hit, put it out anyway, telling Petula, "Trust me, baby." Petula Clark began her singing career before she was even 10 years old. So you might say she got a head start on the competition. She also began her acting career, appearing in many movies. And in the 1950s, Clark started to score commercial success in her native Great Britain. And then she moved on to recording in many different languages to make herself a household name in many different countries. Okay, a good strategy there. As was the case for many British artists, the US was the last domino to fall in Clark's efforts to achieve global domination. There was no stopping her when she recorded the sweeping Downtown, which topped the charts in early 1965. Now, Downtown was the first of a string of successes that Clark enjoyed in collaboration with Tony Hatch. Hatch was not only a songwriter, but he also served as a producer and an arranger, developing his own style in which orchestral elements were introduced seamlessly to stirring pop song forms. Now, in 2013, when the online publication Songfacts asked Petula Clark why she didn't like My Love, she said, "I thought it was a bit ordinary. I had gotten so used to these wonderful songs that Tony had been writing with all these different moods, and I thought it was just a bit flat. And you know what? I still do, but I sing it now. For a long time, I wouldn't sing it on stage, but I sort of play around with it a little bit now, and that makes it a little bit easier for me to do it. Well, thank God. The song My Love was recorded at Western Studios in Los Angeles and features the backing of the Wrecking Crew as opposed to the world-class Wrecking Crew, which cast influence on a completely different genre of music, rap. The Wrecking Crew were an elite group of session musicians in the 1950s through the 1970s that worked for such great artists as Frank Sinatra, Glenn Campbell, the Beach Boys. And in an interview, Petula Clark shared her experiences recording with the Wrecking Crew. She described a feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness as she entered the studio. And though Clark had always worked with talented musicians in London, she felt a special energy in Los Angeles, where the vibrant music scene and the city's eclectic atmosphere inspired her. However, when Petula Clark entered the studio, her stomach twisted in knots as she wondered, can I do this? Am I truly prepared for this level of musical collaboration? Well, clearly audiences thought that she was. The song immediately broke out and gave her second #1 smash. My Love sticks to a familiar pop song template. Find ways to express the enormity of the emotion involved in a romantic relationship. And Hatch's words here, he wrote the song, describe a feeling that both reaches the heights and manifests itself in a subtler fashion. My love is warmer than the warmest sunshine, softer than a sigh. In the verses, the narrator, the singer, expresses how the feeling enveloped her when she met her lover and gave her something that she never expected to have. Once I thought that love was meant for anyone else but me. Once I thought you'd never come my way. Now that she possesses it, she won't let it go. And there is nothing in this world that can ever change my love. I don't know where Petula Clark got her sense, but you could probably ask me and 999 other listeners that this is an amazing song sung by a woman with an amazing voice. I love the rhythm, the speed, the words, they all melt together like butter. Like butter. It's just so yummy and delicious. The song just leaves you feeling good. And it kind of brings to mind a country song by Randy Travis, a song titled My Love Is Deeper Than the Holler. Check that one out too. Well done, Petula. I'm Michael Douglas. If you like what you see here on the channel, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe. And as the late great Barry White always used to say, let the music play. And I'll see you on the next episode.